Welcome to my weekly live. Thank you for coming along. And I am going to share with you a little thing. I actually shared this on an Instagram reel and it was really popular. I was just actually looking for a card I made recently with another technique with using scraps, and I just can't find it at the moment. But I will share another one with you anyway. But I put it on. It just is using different ideas I've been sharing with using your leftover pieces of designer series paper, cardstock, that sort of thing. I really like having some great techniques to not waste those bits and pieces that you often look at when you have been crafting and think, what shall I do with these? Shall I keep them or shall I throw them away? And yeah, so I just want to give you some ideas on what to do with them. So let's go over to the desk and we will get started. Right, so, oops, I'm just scooting over. Let's make sure that we are in action here. Hopefully all is going. Yep, good. Okay, so as I say, I have been using, I've had some scraps recently which I've used to create some different cards, but I also want to show you this suite here. I just got this and I had some paper left over, which is basically what I've used for this card I'm going to make. But this is the Earthen better make sure I get it right. I'm going to flip over the back. Elegance, that was the word I was looking for, elegance. And this is the beautiful papers. If you like that sort of rusticy sort of hi Lynette, lovely to see you here. If you like that earthen sort of look, rustic colours, autumny colours, that sort of thing, then you will love this set. And I love all the texture on the papers. And then you get two each of each one, of course, and it's got the beautiful pretty peacock in there. Isn't that just gorgeous? Just love the brilliance of that. Hi Shani, hi Wendy, hello from Brisbane. Oh, that's fantastic. Welcome along. So lovely to have you here. Right, so the other thing that comes, I haven't even opened them yet, excuse me, is the stamp set, the earthen textures and these dies. I thought I'd just open them here with you. And I love all these. I love this sort of look, this real sort of, what would you call it? Middle Eastern sort of colours and that sort of thing. Right, there we go. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? I've seen some cards made with this, but look at all that lovely texture and stuff on these wonderful different shapes, and yeah, just love it. Really looking forward to playing with that. But as I said, we're not using that tonight. We are just using the papers, and these are some papers. I had to cut out some cards, and I actually did cut a couple of extra, so I had enough to do this tonight. But I had some strips left over, which you often do, especially when you know the cardstock. Hi Linda, welcome. Thank you so much for popping in. Yes, you often have them in with cardstock, especially. Okay, so I'm going to use some of the new colors. This is the Pebble Path, and that's our card base. Now this is the copper clay, and I'm going to just pop that on as my card base. I love, this is not, this is Misty Moonlight actually. Did I say boho blue? If I did, I am wrong. It's the Misty Moonlight, and let's pop that there. Okay, so I have already used an embossing folder with this, and I couldn't wait to get this one. Where is it? It's called Exposed Brick, and it's sort of like got the brick, and I don't know if you can see that on there with the light. Let's pull it down there. It's called Exposed Brick. So much keep saying the word texture, but it has got a lot of texture and interest on this with the bricks and all that sort of stuff. So I've used it on here, but it doesn't really show up that well. So what I thought I would do is grab my Whisper White or craft ink pad and just run that very lightly over the, and see how much that pops up now, just so you can really see that texture. We did a bit much there, but that's all right, doesn't really matter. So just very gently, and it does fade. Now I have also used this die here. These are called Nested Essential dies. Some fabulous shapes in here. And I've used this second to smallest one here to cut out these shapes. Now this one does the stitching, well, some of our dies does stitching on both the whole or the negative and the positive. This just does it on the positive with this one, but still fabulous. So with doing the embossing, it was probably better not to have it on there. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to run some tape, which I have already cut down a little bit because it's quite a fine shape, not much margin, I should say, and I do want to have this tape going on all these edges. Okay, let's do this one here too. So I must admit, very naughty sometimes. I think, well, what am I going to do with all this? And I keep it and keep it, and I get so much in the end that I do on occasion throw some of it away. I know that's horror, shouldn't admit to that, but so I thought to myself, I've got to find some different ways of being able to use it. So that is what I have been doing. So a couple of weeks ago, I actually did one, I think it was on, I did a reel actually, and I can't find it. I've probably given it to someone already. It was using scraps, and it was like a embroidered pattern, just sending the strips, putting the strips on directly on the mat on the card, and sort of different directions, and it was using the Country Inn papers, and it was really effective actually. Okay, so I should have done this beforehand, but I just wanted to show you right from the beginning. Okay, so that one's going to go there, and then I can just use the ordinary tape for the rest of it. So the other one I did that I did on Instagram was with reels, was with circles. My goodness, I was going to say on Instagram for reels, and okay, that's a good use of the tape, isn't it? And you'll see why in a minute. Tear and tape. Okay. And last one. Must admit, I don't use this. The reason I am using tape, usually I use Stamp and Seal, as you know, but the reason I'm using tape is that because when you've embossed card and you go to use the tear and tape, sometimes it can actually rip your paper because you've already broken down the fibers by embossing. It can be difficult sometimes to use your tear and tape, stamp and seal, because it's already broken down and it just rips the card. So if you've ever had that happen to you, that is why. It's because you've already broken down the fibre on the cardstock. Okay, we're going to get started with the first one. And I'm going to use this. It just helps stop the strips of paper from slipping. And I'm going to set up some on here. Okay. So they're different widths. They don't have to be the same width. I've got different widths on these. That one. And one of these ones. Maybe a skinny one for that one. And I'll just check if it's going to be big enough. So if I'm going to go on that angle, I need a couple more. Let's put that one in. It's probably going to be perfect. So you want them close together, and nope, still one more. That's all right. With the circle, you didn't need quite so many, I must admit. All right, we got it this time. So just going to pop that down. Right, and then trim. I'll trim this one down there and I can do the outside later. All in one. There we go. And we will use these again. Let's take the backing off there. Where's my... So it's not a fast process, it's a little bit fiddly, but when you do the reel, of course, it whizzes through. Okay. So with the new colours and the new refresh, and after playing with some colours for a while, what would everyone's favourites be? What favourite colour be? Because we've got a huge range, haven't we, with brights and subtles and earthy colours and right, one more. Baby pink and lemon lolly. Ah, the bubble bath. Bubble bath. I do like that bubble bath, I must admit. Right. I need another one. What one should we put in there? Another blue. I have used those two colours a lot actually, the bubble bath and the lemon lolly. I keep thinking I must use some other colours, not just keep using the same one. Okay. I'm sure you can see by now what we're doing. And the other colours I've used a lot actually, I must admit, are the blues. Use them a lot as well. Okay, this one. That's it, yeah. I'm struggling to like any of the new in colours. You do love all of the returning in the new colours. Oh, you don't like the new colours. You don't like boho blue and moody mauve. I like those ones in particular, and I like the copper clay, I must admit. That's the copper clay there. I'm getting used to the wild wheat. For me, I think that's going to be more of an accent colour than anything. Yeah, just because it's quite a intense sort of colour, and as I think I've said on one of my lives, it's a bit like Karatani, isn't it? But I think it's lovely as an accent. Definitely lovely as an accent colour. I just love all that, like Pretty Peacock and the blues, and yeah, it's hard to pick one, but I do love the bubble bath. I'm a pink girl. Do you like a good pink? Okay, we could do that one just like so. And oops, we missed one out there. Put that on there. Okay, stick that there. It's obviously got nothing to stick on. Lost all the tape. Okay. Right. Now to trim it up, and the rest of the card is pretty quick. Where did I put that one? Okay. And right, let's trim this down. No one's going to see that, so you don't have to be very exact. A little bit fiddly, but nope, wrong ones. Thinking, gosh, they feel sharp. I keep a pair of scissors just for ribbon cutting, and that was obviously them. Right. Still got scraps, mind you, but okay. Let's move all this over to the side. And we will put this on. There we go. Oops. Put it up that way. So this I'm envisaging as being more of a masculine card. Now the other thing I have used, and I got these because I really love the, oh, where have they gone? There they are. Wanted to say dies. Now these have two parts to them, and I don't know if you've seen them before. I can't remember what we called them, but you had the base of the word and then the word on top that you would stick on top, so that you would have the, and I'll show you like this, the shading and then the word on top. Really love that effect. So couldn't wait to get these. And they also have some fabulous extras in them, like hearts and diamonds and a flower and a bow and a present. So lots of gorgeous things for making cards. Now I've cut this out of Very Vanilla, and I've cut it out of with some of the adhesive paper behind it. So when you want to stick it on, you're not having to fiddle around with glue, which is a lifesaver, because I can never get glue to stick on properly. Well, I can get it on to stick on properly, obviously, but I can't get it not to go everywhere when I'm doing this sort of thing. Okay. I think this is just so effective. And there we go. And that one's a bit crooked. There we go. So that is just going to really make that pop. And we'll put that on dimensionals. Oh, I was going to put some of this gorgeous braid on actually. And let's see if that's going to, I can still tuck it under. Stick that on top of there. I tend not to put ribbon on masculine cards, I must admit. What do you think? Should I put that on? I'll put this on anyway. Shall I add the braid, do you think? If it's for a masculine card, sometimes ribbon or any kind of thing like that doesn't really go. Okay. Put that there. So what do you think? Yes? Anyone? No? No takers? Okay. Yeah, I might just add it, I think. And actually, I trimmed it too long. Just get some glue dots later and I'll tuck that under. So I was going to put that up on dimensionals, but I can sort that out later. And this one. There we go. And to finish, I won't do anything with a bow or anything. Yes, yes. Oh, brilliant. I think it's the time delay, isn't it? And these, I found these in the catalogue and ordered them. Just beautiful. I don't know if you can see the sparkle on these. Really like silver, black, gold, but the sparkle in them is amazing. And I thought these would be really good to use. Probably not appropriate, I suppose, if it's masculine once again, but there we go. I thought the black ones would look really good. No, it's not going to go really, is it? I tell you what, it's not going to be, it's going to be too sparkly for a boys. I'm just so desperate to use them that they're not going to go. Okay, I have got these though, which will go somewhere in my little box of goodies. The go-to for masculine cards, these metallic, brush metallic. They're always perfect, aren't they, for masculine cards. There we go. That's much better. Can't be giving them a bit of sparkle. And one there. And there we have it. Very, very masculine card. Using the scrap technique, because this is the other card that I made. Very much more feminine with pinks and everything, and using circles. These packets. I ordered them online. They're passport covers. I got them from Amazon. I think Amazon in Australia. Actually, they're called passport sleeves or passport covers. Really handy to keep your bling in. Yeah, keep them all mine in that. Yes, so this is using circles, and this is using the same die set, the Wonderful Words, and that's very feminine. But I wanted to do a masculine to share that it can be either or. And then there was that other card that I can't find, with the strips on it, with the tapestry sort of pattern, the embroidery looking pattern as well. So many different ways that you can use your scraps. And yeah, it was a little bit fiddly and a little bit longer than I would normally do, but I hope you enjoy that, and I hope it gives you some ideas. As I say, you can use cardstock or designer series paper to create them. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining me and sharing the time with me and creating this card. That Celebrate pops so nicely too. The Celebrate, yeah, with I like it, the dies with the shadow effect. I think they just really work well. I think sometimes you don't, well, there's no stamping on this card, as you can see. On either card there's no stamping, so unusual really. But thank you so much for joining me. Please do share the video if you think someone would like some ideas on how to use their scraps, and hopefully see you all next week. Take care. Bye.